Hey y'all, if you're looking for a legit place to get cheap MT, go to dvdj.com and use code Popboy for an extra 10% off. My people, welcome on in to 2K20 with the Popboy. So, of course, I've been all up in this bitch, experimenting with the new player build system, and I've actually been able to test quite a bit of the gameplay. I'm happy to report I've gotten a lot of testing on the actual gameplay done already. Alright, and that's led me to this point where I'm ready to drop a statement on your head. So we got, when we're building our player, right, we got speed and acceleration. They actually don't matter as much as you'd think, or as much as they should. That's what my testing has revealed. That's my proclamation. Now, you're probably thinking speed and acceleration, that's like one of the first things you look for. That's a huge deal. And you're right, it is, if you're just looking at numbers on a screen. But we gotta look at the whole picture here. There's a whole other side of the coin. So you have the ratings, right? And that's one part of it. But the other part is, how do they translate into the gameplay? Okay, and there's a whole bunch of shit kind of governing or determining what these numbers actually mean on the floor in the actual game. So we can look at numbers on a screen all we want, but I'm here actually testing the whole picture. Okay, so I can tell you exactly why I'm saying this about speed and acceleration. But first, there's one thing we gotta establish. So the modes that we can use are my player. None of those have customizable sliders, right? So anytime we're playing with our player, they give us the sliders they give us. It is what it is. Well, we can't change them. Okay, got that out of the way. Now let me tell you what our problem is. It's these sliders right here. It's the minimum and maximum speed and acceleration, what I call the threshold sliders. So what these sliders do is they determine how much of a real speed and acceleration gap there is between fast and slow players. Okay, what do those ratings really mean when you get on the floor? That's what these do. And what happens is, when these settings are too low and or the minimum and maximums are too close together, that makes it so that discrepancy, that gap between fast and slow players isn't big enough, which means the faster players don't have as much of a real advantage when it comes to speed and quickness over the slower players. So it's like the settings aren't allowing you to fully take advantage of those high ratings. Those attributes are kind of being suppressed by the programming. So I believe me, I wish this wasn't the case, but I know what to look for. I know exactly how it feels when these settings are off. So I'm pretty positive this is gonna be our reality for 2K20. Okay, so now what? What does this all mean when it comes to building our player? Now, it doesn't mean that it's not a good thing to have high speed and acceleration ratings, but we gotta remember what building your player really is. It's just a game of trade-offs, right? Sacrificing one thing for another. Like, here's what I did. For example, I ran a little experiment. So first I made this build right here. He's 6'4", 200 pounds. Okay, then I made this build. Okay, he's exactly the same, except I sacrificed on size. I gave up height and weight to make him quicker. So at first I was just going on, how he looked and especially how he felt. And it really wasn't some big noticeable difference. I was like, man, you gotta be kidding me. Maybe it's just me, right? So that's when I decided it was time to break out my old trusty stopwatch. And now that I think about it, I'm sure I looked absolutely retarded while doing this. But I timed him. I timed him running, up the floor normally, sprinting up the floor with and without the ball, going side to side. And once again, it was really only like a marginal difference. So it's really the same thing I got from all my other testing on the gameplay. Right? That gap between all the various speed ratings is just not big enough on the default gameplay. I mean, to the point where the second guy could barely even separate himself from the first guy, even though he's way smaller and had like double-digit rating advantages in all the relevant categories. So the moral of the story is, I guess if you sacrifice too much just to increase your speed and acceleration, I just think you're going to be disappointed in the end, because you're not going to be able to fully use your speed ratings. You're not going to get like the full return on your investment once you get out onto the floor and in the game. So I definitely would not give up other very useful attributes just for higher speed ratings, when those ratings are going to be watered down when you actually step on the damn floor. I mean, strength is one thing, and depending on your position and your style of play, I guess. But height, I would be very, very careful when we're talking about giving up inches to get extra speed. Because at the end of the day, the gameplay, it's just programmed and calibrated in such a way that it allows you to take advantage of your height much more than it allows you to take advantage of your speed and quickness. And once again, I don't think it should be this way, but I'm afraid this is gonna be our reality this whole season. I'm pretty certain it will be. So we can't just bury our heads in the sand here. We gotta respond accordingly. We gotta take this kind of thing into account, while we're building. But get all up in the comments, guys. Let me know. Just bring me whatever. Bring me anything you got, as usual. Okay, and if you enjoyed, if you found this useful, you know what to do. Pop the hell out of that like button. I appreciate you guys. And if you're new around these parts, subscribe if you haven't already. And hit those notifications on. We just do anything and everything we can to make a better 2K experience for everybody. That's just what I do. But I hope you come on back around here next time, where we're going to continue on 2K with the Popboy.